Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is just going to be a very short video flipping through my bullet journal from this year. As you probably know by now, my bullet journal is from Arch and Olive, and this one was very kindly gifted to me by them for being an affiliate partner. If you're planning to get one for yourself, you can use my code ARTandBujas to get 10% off when you order from their website. I'm just going to be flipping through the pages and talking a bit about this and that. For example, I loved filling out this Themes of the Year spread where I had a mini section for each month, and it's really fun to look back on, so I will definitely include this one in my next setup. Something I just quickly wanted to mention is that I only ever use one journal for the entire year. I know a lot of creators tend to use two, but I don't really make a lot of extra spreads, so for me one works out perfectly, and the journal I use has 160 pages, so yeah, it just works out perfectly. I think this year I have really settled into the kind of style of bullet journaling that I enjoy, which, by the way, if you didn't know, the original bullet journal method was invented by writer Carol, who is a designer, and the system actually doesn't include any sort of decorations or hand lettering, and it was purely designed for efficiency purposes. I also think that the original method is super helpful, but as we all know, it sort of branched out into a more creative community with people coming up with different themes and decorating their journals, which I think is also really amazing. So if you're someone who is maybe thinking about starting a bullet journal in the next year, please don't feel pressured to make it look super decorated or draw on your journal. I think the best thing about it is that you can completely make it your own, so I just wanted to mention that. Now, 2023 was actually my 6th year of bullet journaling. I started my first one in 2018, and back then I just followed Amanda Rachel Lee and copied some of her themes, and then I eventually started making my own ones. And then in 2019 I posted my first bullet journaling video to YouTube, so it's been quite a while, and I think my style has definitely developed quite a lot over the years. Speaking of which, I think April might just be my favorite theme I've done this whole year. I think the colors were just so fun and fitting for spring, and I've always loved making cherry blossom themes. So yeah, also let me know which one was your favorite this year. It doesn't matter if it's one of mine or one that you came up with yourself, and also which themes you would want to see me make in the future. As I was flipping through all of my monthly setups, I also noticed that most of my layouts are usually very similar, which is something I really enjoy because, to be honest, it's a lot of work not only coming up with a theme every month, but also changing up the layout every time. Since I don't do YouTube full-time and I'm also not really planning to, I like limiting the time I spend making my spreads a bit and just focus on making pretty themes instead, because that's the part I enjoy the most. Now, something else I wanted to talk about is the kind of pressure to make your journal look perfect. So this is something I'm definitely still struggling with, especially since I create content based around my bullet journal. But I do think I have gotten better at it, and I also know that it's okay to skip a week or even a whole month if you don't feel like your journal is helping you at the moment, or if you're just too busy. I did actually skip the entire month of July this year, and that's because I just had way too much to do with university, and because it was also the end of the semester for me, and there were a lot of projects that I had to finish. And originally I had planned the watermelon theme for July, but I'm actually really happy that I ended up skipping July just because it took away a lot of extra stress for me. So I hope you never feel bad for not filling out trackers or not making spreads, because your journal should help your life and not make it more stressful. This, of course, also goes for making mistakes. I always try to leave in any corrections I make, because even though I've been doing this for so long, I still make mistakes or I end up not liking a design or whatever it may be. I can always just cover things up or even glue 2 pages together if I feel like starting over, and there's really no shame in that. What I like to do to prevent the extra work is just use a bit of scrap paper and try out a bunch of stuff like color combinations, fonts, and layouts before I actually make a spread, but that's mostly just because I want to save a bit of time when filming, so this is definitely not something you need to do. I just wanted you guys to know that I put a lot of thought and preparation into my setups before I actually turn on the camera. And with that, we have already reached the final setup of this year. I can't believe it's almost over. It always feels like time flies, but I really hope you guys had an amazing year. I really appreciate all of your support as always, and of course I hope you enjoyed looking back at all of these spreads with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again for my next video. Bye!